Hi, I'm Aaron from D1 Bound, and today I'm going to be breaking down our 4 D1 Bound games of the week from last week. What a week to start for the high school football season here in Southern California. We had 4 great matchups. The first featured Corona Centennial taking on East from Utah. We had La Mirada versus Bosco, Serra versus Lakewood, and one of the games everybody's been anticipating this entire offseason, Bishop Amat traveling down to the Santa Ana Bowl to take on the modern-day Monarchs. 4 great games. We've got all the highlights and breakdowns for you from D1 Bound. In our first game, Corona Centennial made easy work of visiting East from Utah 49-13. The Huskies were led by seniors Anthony Catalano and Javon McKinley. Catalano threw the ball well for the Huskies, and McKinley does what he does and caught it and ran with it. At one point, McKinley caught a pass on a bubble screen, shook a defender, stiff-armed another defender up the sidelines, and continued for 6. Definitely one of the best plays of this early season so far. Centennial travels down to Oceanside to play Gardena Serra in Week 2 at the Honor Bowl, and it's definitely going to be a great matchup. Last year, 132 points were scored when these two teams met in the playoffs, and they definitely will not disappoint in Oceanside on Saturday night. Senior quarterback Khalil Tate, Arizona commit, did it through the air and on the ground, along with another Pac-12 commit. UCLA defensive end commit Wole Butico led the charge on the Cavs defense with 3 sacks. Athlete Brandon Burton had a great game and caught an awesome touchdown pass from Khalil Tate in this one. Look for this Serra squad to come into the game against Corona Centennial this weekend at the Honor Bowl, definitely poised with a 1-0 record. St. John Bosco made easy work of La Mirada 76-8. If the jury was out on senior quarterback Quentin Davis, it is no longer out. Davis led the charge for the Braves, threw touchdown passes all over the field, and made it happen with his feet. Look for wide receivers Jared Harrell and Christian Gilbert to be huge assets to the Braves offense this year. Also, Arizona State safety commit DJ Morgan had 2 picks and leads the way for a stellar defensive backfield that the Braves have. Senior Cal Berkeley commit Travion Beck, definitely a force on the defense. Look for St. John Bosco to make their impression felt during non-league play this year. Bosco's off to a hot start this year. The Braves are looking to avenge that loss in the Pac-5 championship last year to Corona Centennial, and they definitely made it known in Week 1. Senior running back and Washington commit Sean McGrew has yet to be unleashed by the Braves. Once that happens, it's going to be hard to stop Bosco on the ground or through the air. And in our final matchup of the night, Modern Day versus Bishop Amat. What an incredible game. Senior running back Brandon Lamarche led the way for the Monarchs with 3 touchdowns, and a field goal ended up being the difference in this one, 24-21. It was definitely a back-and-forth battle all game. Modern Day jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and then senior running back Torrey Sweet for Bishop Amat did work. He had 2 touchdown runs, and to close out the first half, senior defensive back Chris Gaston had a pick 6 to give the Lancers a 21-14 lead. Turnovers killed Bishop Amat in the second half, and the Monarchs ended up squeezing this one out 24-21. This week at the Honor Bowl, we've got 4 great matchups. Colony takes on Alemany in Game 1 Friday night, followed by Oceanside hosting Eastside Catholic, who travels all the way from Washington for this one. Day 2 is definitely a great day of matchups for the Honor Bowl. Our first game kicks off with Cathedral Catholic against Oaks Christian, a rematch of last year's 2014 Honor Bowl, and it definitely was a close game. Our final game of the night, Corona Centennial takes on Gardena Serra. 132 points scored when these two teams met in the playoffs last year, and there's definitely bad blood brewing. 68-64 was the final score, with the Huskies squeezing this one out. Look for a great rematch between these two teams at the 2015